That was a Christmas cracker. What did you make of that bonus point victory over Saracens? Doesn't happen every day.
Obviously we're pleased. I think the pleasing thing for me, and I said it before the game, was actually, I know this might sound a bit odd, the result was of secondary importance to me. What I wanted to do, and I said to the coach before, and I actually spoke to a family before I went out, I want us to come out the game and know that we've challenged Saracens, and know that the players come off the field, and whatever the result, go, we can do these, we can win this. There's areas where we can put pressure on Saracens, there's areas where we can do good things in the game, and we perhaps didn't approach the final in that way, and we certainly did today. We certainly approached it by saying, come on, there's some areas where we think we can get some momentum. You're going to have to work very hard to do it, and you're going to have to be very committed to it, but we think you can get some dividends out of the game, and that proves to be the case. I think that's actually more important than the fact we've scored the bonus point win. You know, actually our attitude to go after the game, that we didn't just take shots at goal. We kept ourselves on the front foot. Our kick chase energy, our defensive energy kept us in the right areas of the field, particularly in the second half, where we almost grew with the energy we put into our kick chase and the energy we put into our tackle competition. And those are the bits that really pleased me. The bits that actually, at times, we made Saracens look a little bit ragged. You know, they were the side who, you know, after the first 10 minutes, it looked like we had a discipline issue.
Yeah.
By the end of the game, you know, you would say that it was Saracens making uncharacteristic, giving away uncharacteristic penalties and making the discipline a problem for them. So those are the things that pleased me the most. Not necessarily that we won, but actually that we look like, you know, if we play Saracens again, there are still some areas where we feel we can find some momentum against them.
What areas in particular pleased you from what your side said? I know you were talking about there about, you know, the error count and things like that, especially in those first 10 minutes, as you say, when it looked like it could go the other way. Is that something that pleased you the most, or was there some other part of the game?
Yeah, well, I think obviously the thing that we've talked a lot about since the Gloucester game a couple of weeks ago was how shaken we seem to get by errors in the game. They seem to really hurt us. We obviously that was obviously the key area we talked about during the week, and that just didn't happen away at Gloucester, because we certainly weren't faultless at Gloucester, but none of those mistakes we made in the game actually, we didn't allow them to hurt us. We managed to get on with the game. I mean, you think of that passage we played last week where Sam Hill throws a ball into touch with a pass. We win the line-out ball back, we get charged out of the kick, and then Stino fly hacks at the ball, it manages to slide off the side of the pitch and it could have gone anywhere. You know, there's three errors there, one on top of the other, and we all looked at each other and just got on with it, put a set of defence in, win the ball back, get a scrum penalty, off we go with the other end of the field. And those are some of the things we managed to do today as well. We weren't faultless. I was a little frustrated with a couple of our early penalties, which kind of is playing into Saracens' hands, because all of a sudden they kicked 3, then they kicked 6, and that's how they build their pressure. But actually, we got on with it, we dealt with it, and again, you know, we weren't faultless today, but actually we worked hard and we were pretty tough, and actually we got through those things, and that's kind of the qualities I'm really impressed with.
I wonder, early in that second half, or kind of early to midpoint in the second half, where you kicked to the corner and it hadn't come off. There was a time where I think the pass came across to O'Flaherty, it was over his head and it went out to touch. You kicked to touch, it hadn't quite worked. Were you at that point kind of regretting perhaps not taking 3 or 6 points?
It's always the same, isn't it? Every one of them's a hindsight decision. So now that
it's a great decision.
Tries, I'm going to say those are amazing decisions, and they're all part of the wear and down process. At the time, you can criticise them individually. I actually thought we got the balance pretty right, but I think we weren't sending on the decisions. We weren't saying to the guys, this should go corner, this should go touch. We kind of sat back and said, look, we need to let them see how they're feeling, because if they feel that they're going to come over the top of Saracens at some stage in the morning game, we need to give them a few goes. You know, you can't just go, if the first time doesn't happen, we can't go for it again. Ultimately, you'll never score tries if you do that. So we kind of knew that it might take a little bit of time, and I think we got the balance about right, and obviously at the end, you know, it became a huge factor in the game. But, you know, it was the same with the scrum. The scrum was backwards and forwards between who could win penalties for quite a while in the game. But ultimately, it came right for us in the end, and that was just by sticking at it and taking those options and keeping playing. And I thought we found space on the edges really well, which is notoriously difficult to get to with Saracens, because you have to be brave and make passes to get the ball there. We did that today as well. And as I said, and we built great pressure with our kick chase game and our tackle completion, which is, again, it's an absolute fundamental when you play Saracens.
What statement does this say to the rest of the league? This is a team that haven't been beaten in 22 games. You know, they've beaten you as well, you know, in the final, beaten everybody else this season.
I don't think, I'll be honest with you, at this stage I don't think it says too much more than people were probably thinking. I mean, there seems to be an awful lot been written already that Saracens and ourselves, you know, have created a gap that will be tough for everybody else. I don't quite believe that myself. There's an awful lot of points still out there, and if you think how many points everyone below us is collecting, how grouped up they are, you can easily see a seismic shift in the way the league is running. So on its own, I don't think it says a massive amount. You know, if anything, you know, good teams can sometimes use, I'm not going to say shock defeats, but they can sometimes use heavy defeats in a really positive way. You know, Saracens have typically used losses really, really well, and they've used it as a restart point and a refresh, and they won't see this as too hurtful for them. Which I don't care, that doesn't really bother me, but what I want to see is it gives us a renewed confidence and a vigour that if we do what we do it very well, and we do it with a lot of energy, then we're a tough side. And that's probably the most important lesson for today, is that, you know, on our day we can beat a lot of good sides, but we've got to be ourselves and we've got to do it very well.